Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, the old captain here, and we have a video request from the road. What town are we in? Grand Junction, Colorado. That's where we are. And the young man writes, Hi there, Aaron. I've been fed up with living in a socialist nation of the United Kingdom and recently found Bulgaria, a country where 80% of its industry is in private industry and runs a conservative majority in parliament, and also, even better, has a very cheap cost of living. It is possible to buy a house of the equivalent of $20,000. I currently hold about the equivalent of $15,000 in savings as a student. In 1 year's time, I am leaving university with a Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences at a top 10 UK university. I'm currently working at a 2-to-1 level, which is the equivalent of a 3.6 GPA. Very good. I was thinking of, after university, of getting a job of a research technician for a year or two, since most scientific research positions, except a few years lab experience before getting accepted. I am working towards becoming an expert in plant sciences for purposes of agricultural function, doing research such as developing new strains of crop which have better resistance to certain environmental conditions, and working out more cost-effective ways to grow more food. In other words, Frankenfood, which I am totally for, but you're going to scare all the millennials away. You're making evil food, you evil, evil man, trying to solve poverty in Africa. Also, I've been planning on starting up a tutoring business on the side of that career goal. I'm requesting for your outlook and understanding of economics, of your opinion of Bulgaria in terms of its economy and your view of its social policies, and advice along the lines of how to go about moving there and good strategies of living there. Since I'm gay, I'm thinking of going the more populous of gay people in the cities, such as Sofia. So this is my first request. I'm not sure if I have to pay before. So, all right, I did some research into Bulgaria, and It's a mixed bag, but I'll just go over some of the statistics here, and we'll go from there. It has very low corporate taxes, only 10% corporate taxes, so you'd be all right there. To set up a company. But the rest of the economy sucks for reasons I'll get into later. Unemployment's around 11%. Government spending as a percentage of GDP is not that bad. It's only 36%, which is I prefer something more like Singapore or Korea, but government spending as a percentage of GDP is relatively low by European standards. So it is, as you mentioned, you have a conservative parliamentary and government in office there. Government debt as a percentage of GDP is only 25%. That's not bad either. And then the GDP growth is only 1%. So you're kind of looking at it, it's like, well, wait, why has it got such high unemployment, such low growth, when it seems to have everything going for it in terms of other economic variables, low taxes, low debts, and all that. The problem is the EU. Bulgaria joined the EU, and this has caused a pension crisis because, like all fucktardedly stupid Western countries, they decide to set up a Ponzi scheme on a pay-as-you-go system, meaning you throw your money into the pension fund, you don't get that money. It's future generations. So the baby boomers are the only ones that get to spend their money and then have other generations pay for their pensions. So once Bulgaria got accepted into the EU, all the Bulgarians, the young people, the talented people, said, fuck this, we're out of here. And now they've left. So they have this top-heavy retirement demographics of the country. Additionally, making it worse is that I know they're no longer part of the Soviet bloc, but they might as well be in some regards, because like their government employees are the most spoiled cunts on the face of the planet. Even worse than Greece. Well, maybe not as bad as Greece. But like there's stories about how like this guy, this poor retired cop, he retired at 42, and he had to make ends meet by working security. It's like, you retired at 42? So they have like some of the earliest retirements, especially in the public sector. Now, not because the youth in Bulgaria have had the intelligence to say, whoa, we're worried about like having to pay your pension and not getting any pension. But they've left, so that's made it doubly worse for the pension. So while their government debts are pretty low right now, There's fear that it'll go up in the future because they're going to have to borrow money because the money won't be there to pay for all these social security or social pensions and all these unfunded liabilities. So that's another reason why young people may want to stay away. So the risk you're going to face going in there is that you all son really like it. Let's say you go there, low corporate taxes, you like the ladies, I don't know. You find that job as a technician in Bulgaria. You start working on your genetically modified food business, and all of a sudden the concern is down the road. You don't have a conservative parliament anymore, a conservative government. You have a socialist government. The communists come back over. Not to mention the young people have moved out and they're not voting. Now you can say, well, we're going to increase corporate taxes. We're going to confiscate your property. We're going to jack up your taxes. We're going to do a Cyprus haircut. So that's the concern there. So that's kind of the underpinning, the key issue. The numbers look all right, but it also explains why there's low economic growth, all the talent has left, and why you have low corporate taxes, but there really isn't booming economic growth and you have high unemployment. So what I would recommend, and this is why I recommend for anyone who's young, you know what, just go there. Just try it, because you're obviously not happy in the United Kingdom. It's good just to travel, just to get it out of your system. You might like it. You might find out that Romania's got better deal. Or you might find out, oh yeah, there's a way I can do it, or a way I can finagle it. Or another thing, and this delves more into the world of asset protection, which is a whole world unto itself. You can have your bank account set up one place, your corporate headquarters set up in Switzerland, and your residency in Bulgaria with your plant in Bulgaria. It all really depends. I don't think you got to worry that much unless you plan on making buku bucks right off the bat. I would just view this more as like an experience. You want to check out Bulgaria. It's not until you start making, your 100,000 euros or your 80,000 euros do they start really caring what you make in different countries. But I would, don't. In other words, don't let your potential future success, which you have yet to realize, like you aren't rich yet, you aren't making that money yet, ruin a good exploratory and adventuring experience. And I think young people, everyone should. You're not making a lot of money. Just go and explore. And if Bulgaria doesn't suit your fancy, try another one. I'm not saying go roosh on everybody and hit a fucking country every 6 weeks. But definitely do it, because you've been in the United Kingdom. You obviously don't agree with it. Go and explore and see what's out there. Because here's another thing. You'll find out like I did. I went to Wyoming. No state income taxes. Mountains. You'd think I love it. Motorcycle. And it's all true. No state income taxes. Mountains. Motorcycle riding. I loved all that. It's the fucking people. And it's some variable you don't know that makes it just not possible to live there. And it can be, in the case of Wyoming, it was literally, and I'm not joking. People think I'm being funny. I'm not joking. They're the dumbest people I've ever met. As a group of people, they're the dumbest. And you just cannot tolerate. I can't. But yeah, if you want intelligent people, don't go to Wyoming. Anyway, I'm saying there could be some other thing about Bulgaria, like it stinks. I don't know. You got allergies and something health related. You just are really allergic to the Bulgarian dippoweed thong or whatever. I don't know. So, but try it out anyway. Go there after you graduate. Take a look. I'm going to buy a house there. Live there at least for a year to know what the seasons are like, whether you want to buy there or not. And then you'll know definitely what you want to set roots in Bulgaria. And you'll be intricately more familiar than, just a couple hours of research of economics. But you definitely do want to keep your tabs on that pension thing. So anyway, hope that helped out. Wish you the best of luck. Toodles.